Hi, hello, and welcome everyone. Greetings everybody. This is my first teaser/introduction to my upcoming book series, The Misfits, a story about supernatural students in a mystical military academy filled with adventure, magic, and stereotypical college shenanigans. If you want to hear more about The Misfits, stay tuned here on my YouTube channel by subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. If you would like to support my channel and my works, you can check out my Patreon information in the description below, which also comes with info on both PayPal and Gcash for quick one-time donations. Here's a shout out too to Mr. Jonathan Green, my loyal supporter in Patreon. Also, this video is dedicated to AJ Hulipa, who's probably been waiting for this for the past 20 years. Yes, I finally started that Harry Potter related story you asked for all those years ago. Anyway, let's get ready as we begin our free tour of the Harrowville Institute of Military Mysticism. Welcome to Harrowville, a teaser/introduction to the Misfits, Part 1, written and narrated by Terrence Polino. Enrollment is going on. Hi, you are officially invited to enroll at the Harrowville Institute of Military Mysticism, one of 7 schools in the universe that accepts students from any kith, be they human, totem, anima, deva, fiend, pixie, or giant, and also integrates all 7 paths of mysticism. We also cater to all forms of military education, from the 3 pre-collegiate or prep levels, the 7 levels of mystical training, to the officer training of 5 levels that are required for earning a rank among the Radiant Legions. Once enrolled, you may join one of the 7 houses that include the steadfast Sturmfeld, the innovative Zee, the swift Branislav, the cunning Cornelio, the wise Nuriel, the loyal Florence, and the diverse Montag. General requirements. Of course, before being accepted into the school, there are a number of requirements and tests potential students are expected to submit. A certified birth certificate, a high school diploma, an official receipt of enrollment, a passing grade in the Harrowville Institute's entrance exam, and a set of clean underwear. Requirements for human students. For human enrollees of the Harrowville Institute, the only other requirement aside those mentioned in the general requirements are a passport, as Harrowville City, where the school is located, is considered a sovereign country. Also, do note that human students seeking to enroll in Harrowville are eligible for a 40% discount for tuition fees upon enrollment. There is also an incentive for humans seeking employment at the Institute with numerous benefits regardless whether or not one is familiar with mysticism. For more information on the benefits of humans at the Harrowville Institute, please check out flyers, posters, and brochures for more details. Requirements for totem students. For totem students who can change their shape into that of various animals, the only requirement is that they maintain a humanoid form during class hours within the campus grounds. Many an awkward moment has occurred due to students reverting to their animal forms and causing all kinds of havoc on the rest of the student body. Commandant Daleport has declared it unlawful to take animal form within the grounds of the Harrowville Institute unless it is within the bounds of training or during one of the 4 seasonal war games. Requirements for anima students. For anima students who can change their flesh into that of the elements such as fire, snow, or dust, it is required by the school that you remain in a solid humanoid form. Multiple accidents and catastrophes have occurred on campus because certain anima students chose to assume their elemental forms during class hours. Henceforth, students of the anima kith may only take on their elemental forms during training or when engaged in one of the 4 seasonal war games. Requirements for pixie students. For pixie students who can assume tiny forms, it is now required by the school directorate that all students assume a form that is within the bounds of average height. This is because of the rising complaint about pixie students engaging and being the victims of indecency in the campus. It is now urged that Pixie students maintain an average humanoid size while in the campus during regular hours, save for medical conditions, during training, and one of the 4 seasonal war games. Requirements for giant students. For giant students who can assume prodigious size, it is now required by the school that students not exceed 10 feet in height. In the past, there have been countless records of awkward and even disastrous incidents because giant students assumed their full size. Henceforth, by order of Commandant Daleport, all students must maintain a height lower than 10 feet unless waived by health reasons, during hours of training, or engaged in one of the 4 seasonal war games. Requirements for Deva students. For Deva students who share some lineage with divine beings, it is no longer allowed to activate glamour during class hours when within the campus grounds. It has been the complaint of many students in Harrowville for many years now, and Commandant Daleport has decided to take it upon herself to see to it that the complaint is addressed justly. In this case, Deva students are disallowed from using their glamour unless engaged in training or when participating in one of the 4 seasonal war games. Requirements for Fiend students. For Fiend students that include vampires, ghouls, and gargoyles, the school now requires dietary requirements be submitted so as to better cater to their needs. In the past, Fiend students have had to struggle to acquire their dietary requirements, such as blood in the case of vampires or rotting meat in the case of ghouls in Harrowville City. Now, the staff and faculty of Harrowville Institute have seen to it that even Fiend students get their full and nutritious meals of blood, rotten meat, and others taken from animals. Educational offering, the Red Path. Sometimes called biomancy, flesh warping, or flesh crafting, Harrowville Institute offers the Red Path to students who want to learn how to manipulate their own bodies or create chimeras. The Red Path specifically focuses on teaching students how to warp spasm and morph their bodies or body parts to their whims, from turning themselves into muscle-bound warriors, becoming fleet of foot, or transforming their limbs or bones into weapons. Students of the Red Path are also taught how to create their own chimeras, usually taken from or based on their own flesh that can fight for them in combat and whose flesh can also be changed to suit their needs. Educational offering, the Blue Path. Also referred to as the Path of the Elements, the Blue Path focuses on the manipulation of the basic elements such as fire, water, lightning, wind, acid, wood, and quite a few others. Students of the Blue Path learn how to direct the power of the elements into useful or destructive forms, such as creating explosive fireballs or creating nearly impenetrable walls of ice. Blue Path students are also taught how to call on elemental spirits called Geists that can serve their will from being their assistants to assisting them during combat. Educational offering, the Green Path. Referred to as the Path of Nature by some, the Green Path teaches students to communicate with, fully understand, and manipulate nature itself. The Green Path allows students to speak to, comprehend, and even control the many plants and animals of the natural world to serve them, whether in fulfilling mundane tasks or serving as their faithful allies while in combat. The Green Path also teaches students to be in touch with their inner selves and assume the form of various creatures in nature, be they plants or animals. Educational offering, the Yellow Path. Called the Path of Machines in some circles, the Yellow Path centers on something akin to alchemy, allowing its students to change the composition of non-living things and giving a kind of life and consciousness to them. The Yellow Path gives students the chance to create golems, or human-shaped machines with a modicum of life and intelligence powered by steam, or, in more modern times, electricity. For those who want a much more personal touch, the Yellow Path also offers training and knowledge in building suits of armor with some intelligence that are also powered by steam or electricity and are worn during high-risk situations. Educational offering, the Indigo Path. The path of light and shadow, as some have taken to calling it. The Indigo Path allows students to make themselves invisible and create illusions to overwhelm the minds and wills of their potential enemies. Believed to be associated with the ninjutsu practiced by ninjas and mysterious arts used by the assassins of the Middle East, those of the Indigo Path are thought to be masters of stealth and subterfuge, able to manipulate the shadows themselves to do their bidding. Also taught to the Indigo students are the subtle art of social engineering, allowing them to better infiltrate various societies and exert control over them. Educational offering, the Orange Path. Worded as the path of the heavens by a few, the Orange Path is mostly about channeling seemingly divine energy to power their abilities. This allows students of the Orange Path to call upon damaging light drawn upon the sun, moon, or stars to smite their foes, assist their allies, or grant them supernatural strength and other abilities. Other students of the Orange Path can also learn to control the weather itself to a limited degree, calling down lightning from the sky, conjuring mist to obscure their foes, or creating short-lived but devastating tornadoes. Educational offering, the Violet Path. The dreaded Path of Death, as it is sometimes known, centers on the dead, death, and just about anything and everything associated with them, giving its students abilities like communicating with the souls of the dead, controlling deathly spirits, and even bringing forth deadly plagues upon their enemies. The Violet Path places upon its students a healthy respect for the dead, as it teaches them to guide ghosts out of the world of the living and into the afterlife where they truly belong. In exchange, students of the Violet Path gain frightening spectral abilities, such as the ability to utilize and manipulate phantoms or the psychic echoes of those who have died, and even inflict pestilential curses associated with death, such as rot, worms, and rats. Join House Sturmfeld. Founder, Sturmfeld Ziegler. Symbol, Red Phoenix. House Marshal, Philora, a fire anima of the Red Path. Battle cry, Valor and Tenacity. Considered to be the most popular of the 7 houses of Harrowville, Sturmfeld appeals most to those who are taken by the idea of heroism and honor. The long history of House Sturmfeld does confirm that there have been many heroes of the Outland Wars that hail from this particular house, and to this day, the core values of courage and determination are drilled into its members. In just about every war game hosted in Harrowville and even beyond, it is never surprising to see that the members of House Sturmfeld are willing to charge into battle against enemies with great numbers, ferocity, and weaponry. Join House Bronislav. Founder, Bronislav Kovacs. Symbol, Blue Phoenix. House Marshal, Gravelion, a vampire of the Yellow Path. Battle cry, From the shadows we strike! Stealthy, cunning, and utterly ruthless. These are the words best used to describe members of House Bronislav. They are skilled in hiding in the shadows, taught how to utilize every nook and cranny in order to remain undetected, and in a position to strike and inflict maximum damage to an enemy. While the members of House Bronislav are neither known for their courage or determination, they are quite famous, or possibly infamous, for their ruthless efficiency and guerrilla tactics. Join House Ziyi. Founder, Bao Ziyi. Symbol, Purple Kraken. House Marshal, Stana, a lunar deva of the Orange Path. Battle cry, For the children! While neither known for their ferocity in battle nor their ruthlessness, House Ziyi distinguishes itself in that it probably has the most members among all 7 of Harrowville's houses. They are dedicated to the belief that children are the future, and they show it in their willingness to fight to the death for them and are fully prepared to utilize their great numbers to that end. Just like the near countless tentacles of a Kraken, the members of House Ziyi prefer to overwhelm their opponents through superior numbers, or wearing down their attackers by sacrificing their own defenders. Join House Cornelio. Founder, Cornelio Aurelia. Symbol, Green Hydra. House Marshal, Noralka, a tiger totem of the Green Path. Battle cry, I am Cornelio. As anyone knows, war is more than just troops on the battlefield, and House Cornelio is well aware of this. The members of House Cornelio are experts at espionage, counter-espionage, assassination, and sabotage, allowing them to end conflicts long before they can even begin. This has earned them quite a grim reputation for being deceitful and manipulative of others, though, in truth, a lot of its members are often a confused lot, especially when its chain of command is broken. Join House Nuriel. Founder, Nuriel Mustafa. Symbol, White Phoenix. House Marshal, Ilmira, a frost pixie of the Blue Path. Battle cry, with knowledge comes power. Knowledge is power, or so people often say, and this is never better exemplified than by the members of House Nuriel. Of all the houses of Harrowville, House Nuriel is focused on acquiring knowledge, especially that of the foes of creation and ways to best combat them. They are also known to be quite secretive, especially if they know the knowledge they've discovered is particularly harmful or even destructive to those who learn of it. Join House Florence. Founder, Florence Gravel. Symbol, Black Cerberus. House Marshal, Gozo, a mountain giant of the Red Path. Battle cry, Hearts of Steel, Wheels of Iron. The term's dogged determination doesn't even begin to describe the sheer fortitude exemplified by the members of House Florence, who have been known to withstand tremendous pain and damage. In actual combat, House Florence favors the defensive over the offensive, but cracking their defenses are often easier said than done, and once they begin gaining ground over their foes, it is almost entirely impossible to dislodge them. For years, House Florence has been a strong rival to House Sturmfeld in producing battle-worthy troops and competent officers. Join House Montag. Founder, Montag Karloff. Symbol, Golden Cockatrice. House Marshal, Ichabod Blackthorn, a human of the Violet Path. Battle cry, Victory or bust. Nearly numerous as House Zee in terms of numbers, House Montag is best known for its diverse members and seems to lack a central theme like all the other houses in Harrowville. Nonetheless, when fully roused and united, House Montag has been known to pull surprising wins against its foes even when faced with overwhelming odds. And while House Montag remains the underdog during seasonal war games of Harrowville, it has also been known to produce heroic warriors throughout the ongoing Outland Wars. Meet Command. The Harrowville Institute of Military Mysticism is led by its 7 deans, with the foremost among them serving as the commandant. They are as follows: Edna Daleport, Human Dean of the Yellow Path and Commandant of the Institute. Vorlak, Gargoyle Dean of the Violet Path. Illyriu, Toad Totem Dean of the Indigo Path. Heshen, Stellar Deva Dean of the Red Path. Kyrilin, Shock Pixie Dean of the Green Path. Farilia, Sand Anima Dean of the Blue Path. Moldrock, Thunder Giant Dean of the Orange Path. Other stuff you'll find at Harrowville. Enjoy the sights and sounds of Harrowville City that girdles the Harrowville Institute and its 12 different counties, with each having a distinct culture. Gaze upon the 7 vast training fields given to each house of Harrowville. Watch the seasonal war games that shakes the very grounds of the Harrowville Institute as students simulate great battles which are done with powerful protective wards to protect both students and onlookers. Learn about the secrets of the enemies of creation, from the innumerable imps that plague the universe over, dangerous demons that cause untold havoc upon unsuspecting societies, vicious dibbuks that are a danger to many, manipulative devils that seek to manipulate and enslave their victims, to the mighty and terrible dragons that threaten to bring down the universe with their unholy breath. Other offerings. For those who seek a non-military career, the Harrowville Institute of Military Mysticism also offer the following educational courses. Anti-Imp Path. Imps trouble people all over the universe, and here at Harrowville, we can teach you to gain a better understanding of their nature and just how you can get rid of them. Anti-Demon Path. Demons or evil fae are a dime a dozen, and Harrowville has found it necessary to teach anyone and everyone how to identify and combat them. Anti-Debug Path. Evil humans who use dark magic to become immortal and undead are a threat to any society, and the Harrowville Institute is willing to teach you how to spot them in your society sooner and how to avoid them and their evil powers. Anti-Devil Path. Devils, or fallen angels, are a danger to all creation, and through Harrowville, you can learn how to better elude them and fight off their powers. Anti-Dragon Path. The monstrous prehistoric beings known as dragons are the ultimate scourge of everything God created, and through this quick 4-month course, you'll be better able to fight their influence and minions and escaping their wrath. Enroll now! So what are you waiting for? Come and enroll now at the Harrowville Institute of Military Mysticism, where a career of valor and glory await you. End note. I certainly hope you enjoyed this short teaser introduction for my upcoming The Misfits novel, and if you did, please feel free to do the following. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell for notifications. Also, if you're interested in supporting my efforts to put the book together, please check out the following: my Patreon and my PayPal.